Okay. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the live session. And if you have any questions, you can put in the chat. This is pretty new to me. This interaction through the live chat. So maybe we will understand a little bit more after today's interaction. So yeah, good morning. So I would like to also know from you your feedback about the course and your suggestions if you know to change or improve something, and that will be also really helpful. And what you expect, or if you have any questions regarding this, that is also will be helpful to know. Also your background, that why you are interested in this course, what you want to get from it. Those things also will be helpful. The idea is basically again to understand this subject, to learn it better, and things like that. And learning is something that is that always goes on. We keep on learning new things. So yeah, so I can see, okay, some people here. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. I think it's monologue. I can only speak. So I can see Hani Sharma. So Hani, good morning. So can you tell me something about yourself, like whether you're a student or a teacher, or why you took this course? That will be very helpful to know. Okay, you are preparing for IIT Jam chemistry. Okay, okay. So, Hani, so do you find it useful for your preparation? Because this course is more directed to a conceptual understanding, and I'm sure that if you qualify Jam, it will be helpful for your interview when you face interview for in PhD program or PhD program. You might find it a really useful answer thermodynamic questions. So, but I don't know about the exam itself, whether it's helpful or not. So you can just tell me how you find it, like what is your So guys, just tell me that why you are watching this course, because you must have also had courses in your university, right? Is it going to be, is it different from that, or how is it different from that, or how it is helping? Those kind of things will be or not helping, both ways will be useful to know, because we always want to improve ourselves as a teacher. We want to change, we want to make it better. So those things, those feedbacks will actually be really helpful. So we, for example, our students give feedback in IISER Pune at the end of every course, and they, mention about good points or bad points of the course, and then we keep that in mind next time when we, give the same lecture. So that's why it is very important to know. And in general, if NPTEL courses are helpful, for example, I myself watch a lot of course in NPTEL. Some of the old courses which were made in 2014, for 15 or a little bit later, 18, 17, 18. Those are really, really helpful for me, some of the courses. So, so you can also tell me that whether this particular format is helpful or not. The assignments that that are given, whether that you want more number of assignments or not, or you want more stress on a specific topic. There's so many things, right? So all that, whatever, even if you, for example, if you hesitate to ask right now, you can always email me later on and also ask about those things. We can also talk about books, for example, which books we are, I followed, and which books should be followed, and where you can find certain things. Even I can talk about how to even prepare for certain exams. Not, of course, IIT-JAM exam, but for example, interview preparations. How one should be careful about certain things. How to build fundamental understanding about a particular topic. All those things. We can actually talk about so many, different things. Although we here talk about one particular subject here, thermodynamics, but in general it is useful for, I find often that, students, when they come for interview for PhD or integrated PhD, they know the subject, but they did not think in terms of, basic aspects of it, and did not, were not prepared to think in a different way. So it will be helpful to that. Okay, so Ani, so you are saying if you teach this course on board chalk method, it will be more beneficial. Okay. So actually, I know NPTEL, it was a requirement from NPTEL to do it on something digital platform, and that's why it is done. Yes, board chalk, of course, is very traditional, and we do that in our institute, but there is reason for doing it, because so that when you take a digital, digitalize a course, it is helpful if the screen gets recorded, rather than, on the board, the camera and all may not capture it always. But I agree with you that the classes look very, very different when you talk in front of students and in the board. So hopefully we'll keep that also in mind for future. So Hani, you can just tell me that what books, which books you follow for your study, for studying thermodynamics, or you just follow the lectures? Are these assignments easy, or difficult, or boring? I'm confused in work. Okay, I'm very confused in work on systems and by. Oh yeah, see, this is not you. Like, a lot of people get confused. So in this particular work done on the system and work done by the system, right? So I can just tell you very briefly about work on the system and work by the system. Let's say you take a gas cylinder, okay, and you compress it. What will happen? So you are actually doing work on the system because you are compressing the gas from outside. Or let's say you have a gas and you put some stones on that. And what will happen is that gas will compress. So that is work done on the system. And let's say there is a gas and you just the opposite process. There is a gas in equilibrium with some external force or what is some piston of some mass. You reduced it and the gas expands. So then gas is doing the work. Now you can remember that if work is done on the system, then energy will increase. If work is done by the system, then internal energy will decrease. So therefore, if you just remember first law of thermodynamics, that du is equal to dq plus dw. So let's say there is no heat. So du will be equal to dw. Now du equal to dw means u will increase when work will be done on the system. Then only that work will be stored as internal energy. Now work done on the system, we normally write as minus P dV or minus P into V2 minus V1. Now if dV is negative, then minus P and dV together will become positive. So du will become positive and therefore internal energy will increase. So you see, a compression is work done on the system and an expansion is work done by the system in general. I hope this is clear. Okay, you're following the lectures. Okay. So from where? From NPTEL only, these lectures you are following, or from some other sources? Also, guys, remember that doing problems is very important. Trying to solve previous year's questions. Okay, fine. Yeah, that is really helpful. So when you solve questions, I can give you one suggestion is that while solving the question, don't look at the answer. So try to solve on your own first. Even if you get stuck, don't look at the book or lectures. After you try a lot of times and cannot do it, then you look at the book, but that time don't solve the problem. And come back and solve it again later on after studying it. And once you do that, it will stick in your mind, the concepts and other things. So solving problem is extremely important for any learning. When I also want to learn something new, for example, it will be very helpful for me if I actually solve some problem. That's why problem solving is an essential ingredient in learning, because that way we test ourselves that whether we have learned or not. But that problem solving, it will not be helpful if you look at the answer of the problem. It will not be helpful because it will not stick in your mind. So therefore, try to solve the problem without looking at the answer and then come back later on to see whether the answer is correct or not. And you will see that it will be, it will be engraved in your mind. It will be, you will not forget it after that. Okay, solve. Okay, I have done 15 plus courses. Okay, right. That's great. 15 courses is really great. You should. Are you doing the assignments and everything, or only watching the videos? How you are preparing this course, this thing? So remember, preparation will be complete only when you will do the assignments. That's why these tutorial videos that we have, you have to also solve similar problems even beyond the assignments that are given. There are books that are mentioned for this particular course. like heat and thermodynamics by Jimansky, and then later part when the statistical thermodynamics part will come from 6th week onwards, you'll have to also look at other books like Hansen and Green that I followed. So there are problems, and if you do those problems, it will be really helpful. Actually, your learning will be much more complete if you try to solve. Even a few problems will be good enough. Okay, hard copy of all the possible assignments. Okay, okay, that's really good. That's really good, honey. So good luck in your preparation. So anybody else want to ask anything? Just no, don't hesitate. Just ask away, or if you want to say something, comments, that was also helpful. Put it in the chat, because that's probably only way to interact. You are welcome to also send me an email, and online, of course, forums are there to ask questions. I have got very good set of TAs who will answer the questions, and they discuss with me if there are any problems, anything any questions which are more complicated and things like that. Yeah, Santi, Priya. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. So Santi, so I was asking before, I don't know whether you're there, that what is your feedback, your suggestions, comments, and if you have any questions for this particular course. Also, your background, whether you are a student or a teacher, it will be really helpful to know, and your motivation to take this particular course will be helpful. So, Sandeep, are you finding this course useful? Did you watch the this first I think 5 weeks of videos? Yeah. So you want the solutions? Yeah, of course. You can just write an email to me, and you can get the solutions for the assignment. But you have to do it yourself first, and then only you should look at the. So you just send me an email. And my email address is, I can just write it here. My email address is dot meaning normal dot Arnab dot Mukherjee @gmail.com. Actually, I'll not write it here, but you can just. So yeah, you can send me an email, and we'll send you the assignments. But you should solution for the assignments, and you should do it yourself. Yes, honey. So much confusion in unit conversion. Okay, so see, so I would suggest, honey, that you have to try, like a few unit conversions first yourself. Okay, for example, let's say how I remember units. So, okay, so I remember units, basic units. As you know that there are primary units like mass, length, and time, right? So let's say I start remembering from very basics like velocity. Velocity will be length by time, L by T. Then I remember, okay, what is the kinetic energy? All of us know. So kinetic energy is, we know half mv square, and we know velocity. So we know the energy unit is m L square by T square. And we also know that, energy will be force into displacement. So then energy is force into displacement. So if I divide displacement, then I will get force. So unit of force will be m, L by T square. Like that, I try to understand this or remember this unit conversions actually. Some of the units are too difficult. Okay, how I can deal with multiple choice questions. What do you mean by deal with? Meaning, if you know the answer, you just answer it. But if you want to eliminate and find out the answer, then you have to also know that which are not possible. So I would say that some of the answers in a multiple choice will be obviously wrong. Okay, so just discard them first, and then you will be having two choices which can be possible. And among that, you have to then know a little bit to connect to that. Either you know fully the answer, then there is no problem. If you don't know fully the answer, you have to eliminate the ones that are not possible. That way you can probably do better in multiple choice. But remember, multiple choice also choices are from a particular derivation and things like that. So unless you derive it, unless you solve the problem, you will not get the right solutions. Correct. But some of the answers you will immediately find some of the choices are obviously wrong. So you can just you can easily discard them and then focus on the ones that are important. Just like any multiple choice questions in quiz, in other shows, always those kind of scenarios will come. So Santipriya, you have any suggestions for the improvement of the course? If you think that something need to be more stressed on, some if you want some additional explanation on certain things, please let me know so that we can think of adding them whenever we can. So any suggestions, any feedback will be useful. If you are following other lectures also on thermodynamics, you can also say that whether something needs to be done in this particular course. However, I just want to tell you is that after this thing, things are going to be very different in this particular course. The statistical part will be pretty new to many of you. In those parts, you will have to focus more. You have to spend more time to understand that. If you are not familiar with that, if you are familiar, then it will be very quick. But otherwise, you have to spend more time to build your understanding on that particular part. In future, you will see that statistical thermodynamics, which is a different subject, molecular thermodynamics, it will be very helpful if you watch this next few weeks, 7th week, 6th week, 7th week, 8th week, 9th week. Then it will be a foundation and for future courses like statistical thermodynamics. And you will be able to also connect to molecular dynamics. That there's a different branch, right? The molecular simulation, computational chemistry, computational physics, biophysics. So they are built partly they are built on statistical thermodynamics and partly quantum mechanics. So this course will also give you a foundation for the statistical thermodynamics as well. So anybody else, guys? Don't hesitate. I can just write something. Otherwise, I cannot see who are there basically. Okay. 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 I think there are no more no other person. So I think we may conclude here. And if you have any other questions, anything, please send me an email, uh, and we will have more live sessions whenever required. This was the first one. We have a plan to do it for every month, but I can do even more if required. So please let us know in the forum or by email, and we can have many live sessions. It's not a problem at all. Um, and then you can ask questions and give your comments and suggestions in many different ways. Okay, so I guess then we will, I think, conclude here. And hope that you will be learning. We will continue learning this.